Hi, everyone. Welcome to my Metabolic Balance presentation. I am Deanna Trask, holistic nutritionist. I'm also an electrodermal screening practitioner. I specialize in women's health, hormones, digestion, food sensitivities, and weight loss. It took me a while to bring on Metabolic Balance. I thought, oh, this is just another one of those programs that, kind of does the same thing over and over again. And I really hesitated to bring it on. But as you know, I like to spend a lot of time researching and checking into the background. And I was so pleased when I actually took the training for this program and when I implemented it myself. So Metabolic Balance was developed over 25 years ago by Dr. Wolf Funfack in Germany. That's what I really liked about this. This has been around for a really long time. It was designed originally to heal inflammation and help reverse metabolic syndrome in his patients, which also resulted in achieving optimal body weight. The program was designed by studying the chemistry of one's individual lab values and the chemistry of food, and then using food as a prescription. No other program does that. Metabolic Balance is an innovative, all-natural nutrition program that brings balance to your hormones, optimizes your health, and leads to a new invigorating lifestyle, resulting in successful long-term weight management. To date, the program is managed by dedicated physicians and nutritional scientists. So the foundation of the program is Metabolic Balance's unique capability to develop a truly personalized nutrition plan based on an in-depth analysis of your unique blood values. We also take into account your medical history and your personal likes and dislikes. Your personalized nutrition plan acts as your roadmap, indicating exactly which natural foods you should eat in order to orchestrate the biochemical changes needed for reaching your desirable weight and health goals. Metabolic Balance is 100% natural. There are no prescribed injections, pills, shakes, or proprietary foods, nor, as with some diets, are you required to count calories or keep score of points. Your local grocery store and farmer's market can easily provide all of the wholesome, nutrient-rich foods listed on your personalized nutrition plan. In fact, I've had people tell me they're actually saving money because they're not eating out, not spending $15 on a salad that may or may not have the top quality ingredients in it. What to expect from Metabolic Balance? Well, first and foremost, I think most people are interested in weight loss and sustainable weight loss. But some of those benefits are improved energy, improved sleep, hormones are balanced out. I think that's a big one for women. And I work with a lot of women 35 plus. You're starting to experience some perimenopausal symptoms, even, women postmenopausal with hot flashes, disrupted sleep. So all of that can be improved simply by following a prescribed plan like this. It also improves your immune function. It has a potential reduction or elimination of the need for certain medications like blood pressure meds, cholesterol meds, and diabetic medication. You'll see that when we talk about insulin. Better sleep, as I said earlier, will improve your moods, and less bowel and stomach problems. We've also seen reduced allergies and intolerances. I can speak to this myself. I know by following the plan, I was not bloated. I did not have the same digestive upset that I would have had before. And then I would have to take digestive enzymes and, a whole bunch of other things, maybe if that got out of hand and I was experiencing bowel issues. You will save money on your weekly grocery bills. I think, really knowing what you should be putting in your body eliminates a lot of those things that we're grabbing that aren't serving any purpose. A lot of processed snack foods can be quite costly. Improved joint inflammation and pain. Wow, what a big one for people. A lot of people, particularly with a lot of weight, are actually carrying a ton of inflammatory water weight, and that is diminished almost, surprisingly in the first week or two. People see such a huge improvement in that water weight being evacuated. A potential benefit for sufferers of polycystic ovarian syndrome, type 2 diabetes, and metabolic syndrome. So again, keep in mind, these plans are devised by doctors and nutrition scientists, and they have the years and years of practice behind them, always improving. It has the highest success rate for lifelong health benefits and weight management. We don't need another program that is just something we jump on and it works while you're doing it. This has unbelievably sustainable protocols, and that starts with the 8 rules. And so implementing these 8 rules actually is part of the magic. So even if you fall off during the summer, or you take a vacation and, before you reach your goal, still following these rules. I've had clients come back and tell me that they didn't put on any weight. They maintained their weight. And again, this isn't just about weight, but having too much bad fat surrounding our internal organs is bad. So the first rule is to eat exactly 3 meals a day. No more, no less. This goes back to lots of programs we've seen out there where you're eating, several times a day. And that doesn't serve our insulin response very well. Ensure there's a 5-hour break between meals. I'm going to tell you, it was a little bit hard for me in the beginning, but I simply just had a sparkling water, and that usually diverted my attention away from thinking that I was hungry. Make sure your meal lasts no longer than 60 minutes. How many times have you sat at your desk, you're nibbling away, and your lunch is still there an hour or two later? So you're grazing all day. Your body is releasing insulin in response to those fluctuations in your blood sugar. Begin every meal with 1 or 2 bites of protein, whatever that may be. You're going to have a vast list to choose from. Meat, fish, poultry, cheese, beans, eggs, and yogurt, just to name a few. Be sure to have only 1 protein per meal and 3 different proteins per day. I have to tell you, this was something that made a huge difference in my digestion and bloating. No more ham and cheese sandwiches or Cobb salads. It's a lot of protein. Protein's one of the hardest things for our body to digest, and that diverts quite a bit of energy. If possible, don't eat past 9 o'clock. It's a great rule of thumb. Usually that gives you at least a couple of hours of digestion before going to bed. Of course, if you're a shift worker, we can alter that to work with your plan. You will also be given a water prescription. It is imperative that you drink your daily allotted amount of water. Also, rule number 8, having an apple a day. It is a power-packed nutrition powerhouse. So you're going to choose one of your meals to include your daily apple, and it doesn't matter when that is. So getting back to talking about insulin and what happens when we constantly have elevated insulin levels. Of course, this can lead to elevated cholesterol, triglycerides, adrenaline, which is a stress hormone, as well as cortisol, which is a stress hormone. So this is not simply just working on one hormone or two, it's actually a ripple out effect when your insulin is constantly being elevated. And it can also decrease certain hormones like melatonin, DHEA, your HGH, which is human growth hormone, and it will decrease your fat breakdown. So you can see why it's really important to be focusing on your insulin day to day. So this is what happens if you're eating 6 meals a day. As you can see, your blood sugars raise, insulin is released in response to that. So you're constantly yo-yoing up and down. When you're only eating 3 times a day, you start to see where you can go into fat burning better. Okay, your insulin levels are now brought back down and your body can do the work of burning the fat. I've noticed huge changes in my muscle tone and recomposition, losing fat and building muscle during this program. Getting back to the rule of only having one protein at a meal, as you can see, each protein that we ingest, whether it be egg, dairy, soybeans, I wouldn't categorize white bread as a protein, but you can see they all have proteins in them, and those proteins contain amino acids. So ingesting those foods one at a time actually allows you to get more of the amino acid profile into your body. So there's 4 phases to the metabolic balance plan. The first phase is your prep phase, and it lasts 2 days. It's a gentle cleanse, which I will guide you through. The second phase is your strict phase, and this lasts 14 days. This is when you see those first 16 days, the most dramatic changes to your metabolism. The third phase is more relaxed. We start to include more foods here. And this can take weeks to months, depending on your weight loss goal. Some people may only want to lose 10 pounds, or some people may have a much larger goal that will require us to work together much longer. The maintenance phase is the final phase, and it's ongoing. And we teach you how to incorporate foods, increase those foods, as well as what happens when you get off track. And all you have to do, pull your program out again and get started. So here's what the plan looks like. And this is a sample. As you can see, everything is going to be weighed and measured. You have 3 options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. However, it's not a 1, 2, 3 repeat kind of program. We will go into this in great detail when we have our consultation to deliver your plan. But these are options that can be interchanged. So you really do have 9 different options here that can be moved around. You also see your personalized food list. This food list is actually to maximize your nutritional uptake for healing. And that's what I loved about it. You know, I've studied weight loss and dieting for a very long time. I've used different programs in my practice, and this is by far the end for me. I'm not going to be going any further trying to improve upon this. The history with this company and the results and the sustainability, it really is the final way for us to just choose to eat this way. So your food list obviously is to get you back to health. And again, they've looked at your lab work. They've looked at your likes and dislikes, and they've created a list to ensure you're getting maximum nutrition. You have your protein list, you have your carbohydrate list, which includes your vegetables. As you can see, there's lettuces on there as well. Those are all interchangeable. The only breads that you're eating are crispy rye bread, crackers, or whole grain rye bread, and I will guide you as to where you can find those. Your fruits, as you can see, are all measured out as well and listed for you. And I like to remind you that this is not a forever. We will add back in things after that initial repair phase. So let's talk about the success rate and what qualifies a successful weight loss plan. Honestly, it has to hit all those marks for it to be successful. And Metabolic Balance has a 60 to 80% success rate. It only works if you follow it. Leaving it in the back of your computer and not actually implementing it, it's not going to work. It's the only program that has a higher than 50% success rate in over 35 countries. It's globally the highest success rate. The next highest is Weight Watchers at 22%. So that's a significant difference. You can expect to lose probably about 5 to 8% of your total body weight during the first 16-day reset period. Then following that, you're going to probably lose about 1 to 2% of your total body weight per week. That will carry on. Some things, as where you are in your cycle may affect that. But again, we kind of look month by month. So if you're starting out at 180 pounds, you could possibly lose 9 to 14 pounds during that first 16-day reset, and then approximately 1.5 to 3 pounds per week afterwards. So if you're curious to learn more, let's talk about how the program is delivered. The first appointment will be the initial consultation. It is to evaluate your health goals. We complete the intake form and your medical assessment, and then we evaluate some pillars of health, and I give you your requisition for lab work. So as you can see, I actually have this set up separately. So if you do sign up after this initial consult, I will remove that sign up fee from the total price. But sometimes people will come in and they decide that it's simply not for them, and that's fine. There's no obligation after that initial consultation. The second appointment, we're going to meet either in person or over Zoom. Again, a lot of clients can now reach me online. We will review phase 1 and 2 of your plan in great detail, and you're going to be instructed to read your plan over a couple of times. There's a lot of information in there. It's probably about 50 pages long. You can contact me with any questions. I have unlimited calling, texting, emailing, communication during your plan. We just kind of set up times for that to happen. We will set an official start date, and again, just let you know I'm here every step of the way to answer any questions. So your third appointment, we're going to meet again in person if you're in town or over Zoom. We will evaluate how you did in those first 2 weeks, and we will review phase 3. The fourth appointment is actually broken down into 12 weeks of accountability check-ins. If you need to get a hold of me and have an online chat, we can totally do that as well. If you have a shorter weight loss goal, like 10 pounds, we may simply decide that the 12 weeks is enough for you to end your sessions with me. However, most people are going to find that they're going to need to work with me for 6 months. So your fifth appointment will be at the end of those 12 weeks of check-ins. We will evaluate how you have done, how you are maintaining, and addressing any questions you might have going forward. The sixth appointment, again, is going to take us into that longer-term 6-month program. It's broken down again into the 12 weeks of accountability check-ins. Every Friday, you will send me snapshots of your scale and move into our 7th appointment. This is the 24-week mark and most important one of all, how to sustain and stay balanced for life. We will meet over Zoom and we will review phase 4, which is your maintenance phase. Whether you've accomplished your goal or not, you will be given a full package outlining the changes in the maintenance phase.